And welcome to a Greater You show here on IntellectualRadio.com and iHeart Station. I'm your host here, Doc Anthony Gantt. I mean, a great business skills show. Get your own show this time. But yeah, welcome to the Great Business Skills Show here on IntellectualRadio.com and iHeart Station. And again, I'm your host, Dr. Anthony Gantt. And we are the station that feeds your brain. And anywhere you get your podcast, you can catch us on any of those platforms. We also have shows here Sunday through Saturday. We have shows here mornings, afternoons, and evenings. A lot of great shows, relationship shows, financial shows, religion shows, spiritual shows, health shows, fitness shows, community activist shows. Interview shows, all type of shows. So educational shows. So, we have something to your liking, about 3, 4, 5 different types of shows that you can listen to and follow along with the host of those shows. A lot of great hosts here as well. So what you can do, if you don't mind, if you can go to, if you're listening to me, if you're not looking at this on YouTube, you can go to YouTube, IntellectualRadio.com. And then if you hit the subscribe button there as well as hit the bell so you can be notified of all the great shows we have going on here. And then you can tune in to all the things we have. And all the shows here at IntellectualRadio.com are recorded. So you can go back and listen to them over and over and over again and then watch them and everything. A lot of great hosts, a lot of great shows. So you can go back couple of years, 5, 6, 7, 8 years from now. So from here, that you can go back and take a look and listen to those shows as well. So we do appreciate you tuning in. So before we get started, I am going to promote someone. If you'd like to get promoted on one of the shows I do here at IntellectualRadio.com, you can get in touch with me at fullofpurposemedia@gmail.com. That's fullofpurposemedia@gmail.com. And I'm going to promote Miss Pamela Denise. She's a real estate professional. And whether you are a first-time home buyer and investor looking to build your portfolio or you're purchasing your dream home, Pamela Denise at Exception Realty is who you need to call. She has 24 years of experience and a team that is ready, willing, and very capable to assist in all of your real estate needs. You will also get a free consultation by mentioning you heard about Ms. Pamela Denise on the Great Business Skills Show. And for more information, again, you can contact Ms. Pamela Denise at 773-447-8546. That's 773-447-8546. Or info@keepitmoving.us. That's info, I-N-F-O, at K-E-E-P as in Paul, I-T as in Tom, M-O-V as in Victor, I-N-G as in great, .us. So you can get in touch with her, and she can help you with your real estate needs, whether you want to buy something bigger or buy something smaller, sell what you have, or add to what you have going on. She can help you out. So we are in a new series, and if you're new to me and new to IntellectualRadio.com, I do a different series. Every so often after I do the series, I try to do about 4 or 5 sessions per series based on the flow of the week, or the flow of the month, so to speak. But this month, every series that I do is based on a book that I've written on that particular topic. So this series is a business skills series, a business skills show, a business skills session, a business skill coaching session, a business skill book club, all wrapped into one. So we're going to come from, the name of this series is called How to Be a Paid Professional Speaker. And this is part 1. So we are obviously coming from the book Paid to Talk, obviously written by yours truly. And we're going to go through some parts of the book, obviously, to help you become a paid speaker. So if you are a paid speaker or want to be a paid speaker, or know someone, that does want to be a paid speaker, then this is a great topic for them to be involved with. So being a paid speaker, I've been in the speaking business, over a couple of decades. I've been doing a little bit. So, but when I first got involved with, so let me kind of tell you my story, let you kind of get an idea of what how this came about for me. And when I first got involved with speaking and thinking that I wanted to be a speaker, and people were telling me what to do, you need to do this, you need to go out and do it this way, you need to do it this way, right? And I was the type of guy at that time, I do like listening to people, especially if you know what you're talking about. And at that time, if you said that you've been doing something longer than I have, if I'm new to it, I just kind of gave you 2 points, 5 points, 20 points, that you knew what you were talking about. And I found out, obviously I'm much older now, and I found out a lot of times people don't know what they're talking about when they're doing things, but a lot of people do. But they were telling me to do all these different things so I can get paid. So when I was following their philosophy and things like that in the speaking business. Well, it's funny now, but it wasn't funny back then. I think I went 10 years before I ever got paid to speak. 10 years, man. Oh my God. Woo, again, it's funny now. It wasn't funny then. But, and good thing I had something else going on in my life that was earning my, what I was making a living on, that even though I didn't realize it was 10 years, and because I didn't know how to get paid to speak, right? I didn't know how do you do it. I'm trying to listen to everybody else and they saying do all these different things. And I found out that I wasn't getting paid. I mean, if someone would have offered me a paycheck, I would have taken it, right? And I would have cashed that check too. And that's pretty much how I first got paid. Somebody offered me a check and I took it and cashed it after I got done speaking. So a lot of times people in the speaking business, and well, they're not really in the speaking business, they're in something else, but they think that they're getting paid. And and a lot of times they're living by several different myths that's involved with the speaking business. And when you don't know that these are myths, you don't know that you're operating by them. And so, I say a myth will have you miss an opportunity to get paid, right? So, so when you involved with getting paid to speak, you have to avoid some myths in the business, and three in particular. And we're going to go over those three during this session. But I want you to realize that you may not have time to wait 10 years before you receive a check, right? You might say, man, no. Because see, one thing about the speaking business, and you hear me say this a few times during this series, one thing about the speaking business, anybody can get in, right? It's not like you have to go take a class and then go get licensed and then all this different stuff before you can be a speaker. So I've been doing this for a while, especially on the training side too. And after I went those 10 years and really didn't get paid, and I started doing some things differently. And after I started doing some things differently, I was able to get paid more often, right? And much more consistently anytime I went out and spoke. But I developed a system for myself, obviously, which is the book itself. And the system I still use myself today. I refine some things like we all do when you do some things a number of times. But when people are coming in this thing, they say, hey, I want to be a speaker, man. I'm going to be a speaker. How you know you want to be a speaker, man? I talked to my kids' friends, man. They were around the house, and they were all fired up after I got done talking to them. So I think I'm qualified. Oh, are you? Okay. So they just like talking to people, right? Or they just have some type of ego, and they like people looking at them, like being on stage, and all that stuff is wonderful, I guess, but they may be part of the myths that's going on with the speaking business. So let's go over some of the myths. So let's go over the first myth that people think they need to be involved with or have in order to get paid to speak. And, because really, I'm a guy that I was the same guy back then. I mean, I'm a little bit more, a couple more people know me now than they knew me back then. But I was always like, have you heard of me? Have you heard of me? And people like, no, man, I haven't heard of you. Who are you, right? And here's the first myth. People think they need to be popular in order to get paid. They think they need to be some type of, popular person or some type of celebrity. So they build this whole little speaking career trying to make themselves look popular, trying to make themselves look like a celebrity. And in the process of doing all these things, they're not getting paid because they want to be popular. And the truth of the matter is, there's very few people on the planet that's known by everybody, right? And that's why it's such a myth that you don't have to be popular to be paid. Now, obviously, when you get good at something and you get out and some other people see you can be popular in certain circles. But, I like to say, like, you may not know who I am. You might be new to me. If I say you know who I am, you be like, man, I don't know you. Well, that means I have more work to do, right? Because I need more people to know me, right? But that doesn't mean I can't get paid because that group doesn't know me. But in some circles, you are among certain circles in your community or certain circles in your city or state or in your industry. You can be very popular within that circle. And then you're popular in that circle, but you go across the street in another circle, people don't know who you are, right? You go to another city, another state, they don't know who you are. So but you don't have to be popular to be paid. And you don't have to try to build a business on trying to be paid. So now, don't get me wrong. Now, an athlete, an entertainer, a celebrity or something like that, they can sometimes come into the speaking business and get paid a lot of money because they're coming off their celebrity, right? They were an athlete. They just won a championship. 2 years ago, won 3 championships or whatever it may be. So now they want to come out here and speak and, be speakers, and they want people writing them checks because, hey, that was the guy or the lady that won the championship. So, they're coming off their celebrity. But if they don't do some things right, eventually their celebrity starts to die down some, right? Because they might have been the top quarterback or baseball player, soccer player, or whatever it may have been in their head. But in 10 years, there's a different person that's the top soccer player, football player, or whatever in that day. So eventually your celebrity will wear off. That's why you need to know how to do this thing as a business. So that's the first myth, because all of these myths put people, we need to differentiate between what's being in the speaking business and what's being in the business of speaking. See, for those 10 years, I said that I was saying I was in the speaking business. I really wasn't in the speaking business. I was in the business of speaking, right? Meaning that I was running around there talking, but I wasn't getting paid for it, right? So that's what was happening to me. I was in the business of speaking. So that's what happens to a lot of people when you're trying to be popular. They're not getting paid, but they they look popular. But, if you do anything, especially taking out your time and all these things, you want to kind of reap some rewards and some type of paycheck. At least you should hope so, right? And I know some people say, I just do this because I love the kids, and I love all of them too, right? However, when I'm doing this as a profession, as part of my business, I want to get paid for it, right? Because I'm bringing some value to the people that I'm actually speaking to. So myth number one is trying to be popular, trying to be a celebrity. So you don't have to try to build your career on that. Myth number two is, they're gonna be a motivator, right? Woo, I'm gonna be the motivated speaker, man. I'm gonna be the motivational speaker, man, because I'm fired up, man. I get people excited, right? All these different things, right? Because they think that that's actually something that they need to do. They need to be a motivator, right? I'm the motivational speaker. And you hear a lot of people say that, I'm gonna be a motivational speaker, right? And some people that's a little bit more sophisticated, they say I'm gonna be an inspirational. I'm not gonna be motivational. I'm gonna be inspirational, right? And nothing wrong with those, I guess. But motivational speakers, that's not always the best thing to be as a motivational speaker. You can be some other things, but you don't want to be a motivational speaker, right? And nothing wrong with motivational speaker. But here's something that I realized in life, that people pay more for education than they do for motivation. And when you're a motivational speaker, I like to ask people, what is that? What is a motivational speaker, right? What is that? Do you know what a motivational speaker? Because let's look at the root word of motivation is motive. Motive, in some forms of the word motive, mean reason. So the reality, you really don't know the reason why people are listening to you, right? They know the reason why they're listening to you, and sometimes they don't know the reason why they're listening to you. But if anybody has a reason for listening to you, maybe they are motivational listeners as more than you are motivational speaker. Because I don't know the reason why people are listening to me. They have their own reasons for why they're listening to me, right? So you trying to go motivate them when it's their reasons, right? So in other words, you shouldn't try to focus on motivation. You should focus on education, right? Now the word education has the root word called educe. E mean out, and duce is the word in Latin mean duce, or that's what it means in Latin. And duce or duce means to lead. So educe, education, means to lead out. Produce, lead forward. Induce, lead in, lead under. Reduce, lead back, right? So in actuality, when you are involved with education, people pay for education. Now here's the third, another myth, is that people look at it as credentials. I got to get all these credentials, man. I got to get certified this. I got to get another degree. I got to get all these different things. I got to have all these credentials to validate so people can pay me, right? And nothing wrong with degrees. Degrees are cool and all that stuff. Certifications, awards, and all that stuff. That stuff is all right. That's good. I mean, degrees will get you through the door, but your skill to keep you in the room. And so if you can have a degree and don't have the skill, they're gonna put you out. You understand? So you still have to have the skill sets to stay in the room, even though you might say, I got 5 degrees, or I got a degree here, and I got all these certifications, and I got all these awards. That's all wonderful. But if your skills keep you in the room, right? And a lot of times, people that have a lot of stuff like that, they don't have a lot of skill neither. So, you want to have them both if that's the case. But you don't need certain degrees in order to get paid. You don't need a Ph.D. You don't need a DDS. You don't need a JD. You don't need a MD or, MA or BA or AA or cross the street certificate. You don't need none of that to get paid, right? Those things don't validate that someone's going to pay you. Like, hey, I got an MA. Oh, I guess we got to pay them then. He got an MA. No, it doesn't mean that you go get paid because you have those credentials. If the credentials are good, it shows that you accomplished something. So there's nothing wrong with that. However, those credentials does not validate that somebody's going to pay you because you got a credential. You know how many people got degrees? You know how many people got certifications and awards and everything? A whole lot of people got that, right? So if that's all you need to get paid, everybody be getting paid that's out here in the speaking business. And everybody not out here getting paid in the speaking business because sometimes they're going by these three myths. They're going by whether they need to be a motivator. They're going by the one that they need to be have these credentials or have to be popular, right? And all those things are irrelevant. You don't need all those things to validate whether or not you need to get paid. So you need to focus on being an educator, right? And here's why I say that. See, when you first meet someone or when someone gets exposed to quote unquote motivation, the first time they, oh, I'm so fired up. I'm so fired up. I think I can do it. I can do it. I can earn more money. I can lose weight. I can do all these different things. I'm fired up. Oh, I'm so charged. That person got me charged. Right. And then, they get back home, because they it's supposed to be on this weight loss thing now, right? They get back home. When they went home, they go to the burger joint and get them a double burger. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought you was excited, man. I thought you was going to get all this. Yeah, I'm start tomorrow, right? And I can't start tomorrow. I got to start on a Monday. I can't start on Monday. I got to start on the first of the next month, right? Because of the fact that eventually motivation wears off. And after you went through it about 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 times, it sounds just like motivation, right? It sounds like, yeah. Because you got a history. Like, yeah, I was fired over that last lady talk. I was fired over that last guy talk, right? And I didn't do nothing, right? I still had the same problems, right? Still had the same habits because of the fact that I got motivated. So this is why after a while, people, they're looking to be educated more than they're looking to actually be motivated. And companies and organizations, that's actually trying to, here's an example. Let's suppose your people at this company, right? They can't get along. They always going at each other. In other words, they have conflict with one another. And this department, people in this department don't get along with these people in this department. And it's just cold in this office because these people can't get along and work well. So here you come in, Mr. and Mrs. Motivational Speaker, and you come and motivate them. Yeah, you are the best. You're the best employees. You are the best. You are the best. And these people get excited. And right when you leave out, they curse each other out, right? Because they haven't learned how to actually resolve conflict, right? You motivated them, but you just still got motivated people that still angry at each other. They didn't get any ways to solve their problems because people are looking for education. They're looking for teach me something. Yeah, motivation is good, but see, when you learn, like you can motivate a young person about a new car or whatever, you can motivate them to all those things. But if you give them the keys without teaching them how to drive, they're going to have an accident, right? They're going to hit a pole. They're going to hit the car in front of them, right? Because they don't know how to drive. Well, see, this is what happens when people try to go out and just motivate people. I'm just going to motivate you. And the people get all excited. They think they can conquer the world, and that's wonderful. I can touch the sky. I know I can, right? But then once that wears off, then what ends up happening, the persons go back to where they were, and then they start feeling worse than they did before, because now this has happened 7 times. Now they don't want to see no motivational person, right? They don't want to go to none of that stuff. They don't read none of that stuff. Now, some people think that I'm a motivational speaker, and I'm really not. I'm an educator. And I tell people all the time, I educate. I teach people things, right? I'm not in the business of speaking. I'm in the speaking business, right? And that's what I'm in. I'm speaking is just part of the business that I have going on here because I'm an educator. Now, I'm not talking about being an educator in school, right? Go to your local high school or elementary school or college or university and say, hey, okay, I need to be an educator. I heard that guy talking about I need to be an educator to be a speaker. I'm not talking about educator in those facets. What I'm saying is that you have to teach people something. You have to educate them on something. You have to educate them and lead them out from where they are to where they want to be, right? But you have to teach them how to do that because more people pay more money for education than they will motivation. Just use that same example I just used with the company and everybody fighting, right? They got conflict. They can't get along. And then you came in there and said, I have 5 steps to teach you how to resolve conflict and how you can run a better office because people can get along with one another and work more, work together, right? Well, now I want to pay you because you're going to give me 5 strategies so I can get all these people to work together. And so now when you leave, they know the 5 strategies on how to work with one another and how to communicate with each other better so they can do better work performance and all these different things, right? So it's a different thing. Now, when you learn something and do it, it provides its own motivation, right? education would inspire motivation. But a lot of times motivation does not inspire education, right? So when people are, unfortunately, when a lot of people in the speaking business, they don't understand that. So what they're trying to do, again, because I'm trying to be popular, right? I'm trying to act like I'm a celebrity. So now they want to do is they're going to tag themselves on to another person that may be popular in the business, right? Ooh, that person's popular. He's popular. She's popular. You know this guy? You know that lady? Right? So they know all these different people. So they try to tag themselves with them. But just because somebody paid that person $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 does not mean they're gonna pay you that just because you rolling with them. That doesn't mean that. They may say, yeah, well, it was nice that you were hanging with them. It's nice that you went through their class, but we paid them 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000. We're not gonna pay you that. We're gonna pay you $10 maybe, right? Because if they have that much money, they want that person that you were hanging out with. They don't really want you, right? And that's not saying anything against you. But what I want you to understand is that you have to realize that you can get paid to speak. You don't have to do all that other stuff. You have to go through all that, but you have to go through some steps in order to get that done. So the first thing you need to realize, you have to focus on being an educator. You got to teach people something, right? Teach them how to tie their shoe, comb their hair, wash their face, or something. Teach them how to do something. Because again, motivation works at first when people haven't been exposed to it. But after they've been exposed to it, especially a lot of times people want to talk to sales organizations or they want to talk to, uh, entrepreneurs or business people, and things of that nature. And so they think that they have to go in there and motivate that person. But if the person is not making sales, they don't need motivation. You know how many people they listen to motivation? They need to know how to call somebody and get on, and set an appointment and actually make some sales, get some signatures. They need to know a system or a process or be taught how to do that. Once they know how to do that, they can go make some sales. Trust me, they get more excited, right? Because now they know how to do something. When you and I learn how to do something, then you get motivated. It's like a child. You teach a child how to cook something, hey, just cook this, it might not be anything that big because they're only 8, 9 years old. Man, they think they did everything. They think they made a big old thing happen, right? Because they feel better about it. They're more excited because they achieved something or accomplished something because you taught them how to do something. Adults are the same way. When you teach an adult how to do something, you teach an adult how to comb their hair or whatever, they feel better too because now they know how. So now they can do this thing pretty much anytime they want. And when since they know how to do it, they can do it more often, right? They don't need you to be there, which is good, right? So this is why you want to look at education. So here's something for you. Now, this is a system that I've been using for, like I said, a couple of decades on helping me get paid, right? And it's like a 4-step system, right? After I realized and accepted the fact that I was going to be an educator, and I was always an educator, right? But because I was an educator, and always want to teach someone something. If I learn something and do it, I want to teach someone else. That's what I'm doing here, right? I'm teaching you something with this show, right? So when I learn something, do something, I want to teach other people so they can learn it and do it too. I think there's enough air out here for everybody. There's enough money out here for everybody. There's enough achievement out here for everybody. There's enough success out here for everybody. I don't have to try to keep it all to myself because there's enough for all of us, right? So that's how I always looked at things. But during that time frame, and not like I said, I've been doing this for a long time, and a lot of times I've been overlooked by people and by organizations, by groups because I didn't have all the excitement. I didn't stand on the chairs and yell up to the top of my lungs and say, "Yeah, everybody put your hands in the air, go this way," like you're at a concert or something. You understand? I didn't do all that stuff, right? Look over there, look over there, look over there, slide, high five. I didn't do all that stuff, right? I want you to sit down, and take notes because I got a lot to share, right? And if you're doing all that running around and we dancing and all that stuff, you're too tired to take notes. You're not gonna remember anything I said. So I wasn't that guy. So sometimes people overlook me, right? Sometimes people have me there and everything. Say, well, he ain't that exciting. He gonna teach folks something, but they're gonna be thinking. So we're gonna put him first, or give him a little time, but not much. But it validates the fact that we're doing something over here because he did say the 5 steps on how to resolve conflict or whatever. Well, unfortunately, that didn't work well for me, right? So I had to start figuring out a system to get paid because if you're in any business, you want to get paid in the business. You may not get paid every day, but you want to get paid every time you do it, probably, right? And the truth of the fact that a lot of people don't get paid in the speaking business. And I know people are, everybody got this system to how to make all this big money. You can make $1 million just like me, right? Yeah, right. So let's look at the number, and you probably could, right? How most people don't. So here's the thing. When you look at the fact that you could actually earn money at this thing, a lot of people don't earn And it's not a lot of money, maybe a lot to some people, but it's not like it's a fortune, right? But a lot of people don't earn $1,000 every time they go out and speak. And a lot of people don't speak 100 times a year. A lot of people don't speak 8 times a month and earn $1,000. So now you say, well, yeah, I earn more than $1,000. Then you don't speak 20 times a year and earn 5. A lot of people don't do that, right? Now you can earn some nice money in the speaking business. You just need to know how to do it, right? You just need to know how to do it and let those myths that I talked about, you got to let that stuff go. And you got to focus on being an educator so that you can get, because one thing about the speaking business and it got this thing called technology. And technology is always advancing, right? This is why the more technology advances, the more people think they can do what you do, right? When I first got involved in business, and business in general, and I'm speaking, you didn't have all the technology out, so you had to be pretty good, right? Not saying you have to be pretty good now, but you had to kind of build up a body of work, so to speak. You had to actually know some stuff and do some stuff. You had to get yourself in position to do some things. But with technology now, you can stick yourself on a social media platform and you can listen to somebody else's program and regurgitate their stuff. And if I never knew who that guy was or that lady was that you getting this information from, you sound like an original to me, right? So the competition is greater because of the fact that, the technology is so advanced, anybody can almost look like the next, big time speaker or whatever. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with that. I just want to let you know, don't focus on trying to be popular and celebrity, but do focus on what I'm going to share with you now with these 4 steps. All right. So it's 4 steps that I use and I've taught, and it helped me and helped other people that I've taught for, a couple of decades as well on how to get paid. Right. Now, the first thing you need to do, step 1, you're writing this down. Step 1, you need to find a problem. Got to find the problem. For some of those very motivators, always positive, saying something about problem is negative. Ooh, don't say problem. Ooh, no. We can't have problems. But there's some problems on the planet. You understand? Some problems in life. So you got to find the problem, right? That's the P. Because this is an acronym for me, paid. So you might want to put this on. If you're writing this down, you want to use this as an acronym. So first thing, find a problem, right? The second thing you need to do, the A, you need to find an answer to the problem, right? Now, here's what I found out, that you may have one problem, but you can have 5 answers, 10 answers. You can have more answers than you can have with the problem, right? So you can have more than one answer. You can have just one, but you can have 20. You can have 5, right? So you need to find answers to the problem. Now, see, because you just can't go around in life pointing out all the problems in life. Now, that is pretty negative. That's a problem over there. There's a problem over there. Problem over there. Problem over there. Problem with them. Problem. Nobody want to hear that all day. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, man, we know all those problems. Now what? Right? So you want to be more than just the problem finder, right? You need to have some answers to the problems that you found. Okay? So that's the A. So you have to have some answers. The I is for instruct. Remember, you're an educator, right? So you have to instruct people on how to apply the answers that you have to the problems that they have. So they have a problem. You have answers. Now you have to instruct me on how to use those, apply those answers you gave me on the problem I have. So let me see, can I use an example? You got a big old hole in the wall, right? You got this plaster wall here, boom, big old hole in it. That's a problem, right? The answer is either get more drywall, cover it up, whatever you need to do, right? Not cover it up with no curtains, right? But cover it up with another piece of wall or something, right? But to fix it, right? That's what the answer is. But I don't know how to put drywall up. I don't know how to do that. So now you instruct me on how to go buy the drywall, where to get it from, how to cut it, how to paste it up and everything, right? How to fix this hole in there, how to cut it and make sure it fit right, and how to fix the whole thing. So now you have instructed me on how to apply the answers that you have to the problem that I have. See, that's what you need to do. See, if you're an educator, that's just kind of hard to do that as a motivator, right? Yeah. Yeah, I see you got a hole in your life, but you know what? You just said hole, just be gone. You just, don't look at the hole. Just look around the hole. Just, just don't do nothing with the hole. Just turn the hole into a flower pot, right? You can say all that stuff, but the fact is, I got a big old hole in the wall, right? I need it fixed. So let's see, can I make it in real life a little bit more? I got financial problems. I need that fixed. I got relationship problems. I need that fixed. I got parenting problems. Need that fixed. I have a A house problem, need that fixed. Car problem, I need this stuff fixed, man. Can you tell me how to fix my retirement? Can you tell me how to fix my relationships with my spouse or with my parents or with my friends? So can you tell me how to fix those things, right? Because these are holes in my life and I don't know what to do. I just know I got a big old hole there. And now here you come motivating me. And yeah, I feel real good, but I'm still broke, right? I feel real good. I feel so excited. But you know what? They still gonna cut it off, right? I feel so excited. But the bank said, you know what? There's nothing in the account, right? So you have to instruct me on how to apply the answers you have. This is how you save $5, put in the account. Oh, wow. Okay. That's what it is. Okay. So now I'm plugging that hole that I have in my life. So find the problem, find answers, instruct people on how to apply the answers you have to the problems they have. Now here's the D in this scenario. The D is for dedicate. You have to dedicate yourself to this process more than you are to trying to get money, and then you'll get paid. See, what happens in the speaking business a lot of times, people are so focused on getting paid. Where the money? Where the money? Where the money? How much you going to pay me? Where's the money? And I said, oh, okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's interesting. He said, but I want people to pay me thousands of dollars when I go out and speak. Okay, now you don't invest in you more than $30, but I'm supposed to pay you thousands of dollars when you talk to me. Now, see how that doesn't make sense? You invest a little in you, but I'm supposed to pay you a lot. That doesn't make sense. You haven't even made the investment in yourself for somebody else to even match your investment. How about everybody match his investment, right? How much you pay? What's the most you ever paid to learn something about whatever you do? $20. And everybody said, okay, that's what we're going to pay you when it come out, $20. He'll get upset. Hey, whoa, that ain't right. You know, I should get more. I should get paid $20,000, $10,000, $1,000, $15,000. They say all those different things because they think they should get paid more money because of the fact that they actually have, because they out there speaking. Now, see, because this is what I found out. Now, see, this reality. This gets you to know. See, I'm an African-American guy, right? Black guy. So, right, here's something that I realized real early in speaking business, right? In the African-American community, if you don't know anything about it, there's a lot of people that are called preachers, right? Pastors, in that space. And these people are good, right? I mean, when it comes to speaking, man, they blow the roof off something, man. They good. I mean, they are really, really good. And they can get mortgage payments out of people, all types of stuff, right? And I realized early that, you know what? And it's not saying a comparison negative about myself. I'm not that good. I'm not what these guys, these people are really, really good. Well, I knew as an African-American man, as a black man, I'm not a preacher, right? I'm not that guy. And, that's not me, right? However, I know how to speak in public and I know how to teach something. So I knew that I needed to make my way very plain for me because I didn't want people to get me confused thinking that, oh, you must be a pastor of the church, right? You must be, and nothing wrong with that. But that's not what I am, right? That may be what somebody else is, but that's not what I am. So you have to realize that you have to do this thing in a succinct way. That's why education is always important to me, right? And that I convey that to you, that you have to be an educator, not right? And nothing wrong with motivating. But just be educated and teach somebody how to do something. Find a problem, find answers to the problem, instruct people on how to apply the answers you have to the problems they have, dedicate yourself to that process more than you are dedicated to money, and you'll get paid. You get paid because people want to learn something. People pay for education more than they pay for motivation. They'll pay more often for education, more often than they pay for motivation. After they've been motivated by you 2 or 3 times, they don't want to pay for no more motivation. They're done, right? But they'll pay for education 2, 3, 4, 10, 15, 20 times if you got something to educate them on. So you need to follow that 4-step process if you want to get paid. It works for me. It works for a whole lot of people I train in this space, right? So it'll work for you too. But so you have to find a problem. So how do you do that, right? Now, when I first got introduced, so to speak, to the speaking business, and people tell me, yeah, let's go out there and, let's go out there talking, man. Just go everywhere you got to go. Go to the schools, go to anywhere, go anywhere where there's people. And just start talking, just tell them you'll be there, right? Keep in mind, don't ask for no money. Just tell them you'll be there. And so they said, well, so how do you find out what to talk about? Right? And people would say, you know what? You got to find a hot topic. You find a hot topic, talk about a hot topic. And I looked at that for a minute and I'm like, man, find a hot topic. By the time I found out what the hot topic was and did my research on the hot topic was cold. Right? So it's like, man, I'm always behind. Right? It's hot topic thing, right? So the hot topic, like sometimes every about 4 years or so in the United States, the hot topic might be politics, right? So people just say, "Oh man, this is hot," But you might be talking about politics, but after the election and everything, they not as hot anymore. Something else is hot. Might be it's athletics. It might be entertainment. It might be a disaster, a catastrophe has happened, or something big has happened, and that's hot. Well, I realized that I could not build a business on chasing what's hot. I'm chasing what's hot. You chasing what's hot. All of us talking about what's hot. Then when it's not hot anymore, people don't want to talk to us because we only the hot people. So I looked at that as a microwave approach. Didn't work well for me, right? So I realized again, I'm an educator. I'm a teacher. I got to find the problem. So one of the quickest ways to find problems is find problems that you have already accounted yourself. Now I haven't had all the problems on the planet, but I have had some, right? So I found some of the problems. So here's something for you, because most people want to be considered an expert in what they do. And if you ask most people what's an expert, they really, they really couldn't tell you. An expert is him, her, them, over there. People that have been doing this 50 years, all that, right? And so here's something for you. So you might want to take some notes on this. So you want to be an expert, right? Because you must put this in mind already. I know it already. Not that you know it all. You know what you need to know already to start getting paid to speak, right? So you want to be an expert, but how do you define, or how do you know that you're an expert or that person's an expert? How do you make the definition for yourself to find out whether or not you're an expert or not, right? So here's something you can find. Expert, the word itself in its original language is the word actually to try. That's what expert means, to try. So the first question I need to ask you, have you tried anything? Well, guess what? I don't even know you yet. Right? I didn't even hear you answer. But you know what? I know you. The answer is yes. You tried some things, right? So if you try something, you can be an expert. Now, wait, let me make some clarification now. Just because you tried something one time don't make you an expert, okay? Right? You got to have some success in this trying, right? So just if you was riding a bike and you fell down, so I tried to ride it. Okay, I think I'm going to talk about how to, ride the bike. No, you don't know how to ride a bike. You fell down, right? Right when you got on the bike, you fell over. So you tried it, but you didn't have some type of success at it, right? You didn't ride like 2 blocks or something, right? So you have to actually have something that you tried. And then when you try something, now these are 2 sister words to the word expert or cousins, whatever you want to call them. And one word is experiment. And the other one is experience. And all those words mean the same thing, to try. So when you try something once, try it twice, you experimenting, right? You're experimenting, trying to knock out the kinks or something and get it right. You're trying it. You tried it again. Oops, that didn't work. Try it again. Oops, that didn't work. Tried this. Oh, that almost worked, right? So you trying it a few times. And what's a few times? Could be 10 times for one thing, could be 110 for another, could be 1,010 for another, right? So you're trying it, and you are actually like a scientist, right? You're putting together something, right? Trying to find a combination of what works, right? And when you find out what works, that helps you with your experience, because you know what doesn't work and you know what does work. See, that's what makes you an expert. You know what works and what doesn't, right? And if you don't know what works and what doesn't, answers, right? How you going to instruct me if you don't know what works or what doesn't, right? So you know what works and what doesn't to the problems that you find. There's the problem. My answer is I'm an expert. I tried these 5 ways, and these 5 ways do not work, and these 5 ways do work, right? Now, somebody may say, man, you only have 5 ways of work. I got 55 ways of work. Hey, that's wonderful. That's good you have 55, but I know these 5 ways right here, right? And this is what you speak on, these 5 ways of work, or these 5 answers that solve those problems that people have, right? Now, again, somebody else may have more. So here's an example. Some people could say, man, I got 20 years experience, right? 20 years experience. Now, if you hear someone say that, man, 20 years experience, it's like, whoa, they've been doing that 20 years, right? And now, and the guy said, hey, I bake 1 cake a year, right? And he's been doing it for 20 years. So technically speaking, he's been baking for 20 years. He just do 1 a year, right? He's done 20 times. Well, that's cool, because you can tell me how to be in the bakery business and how to survive by making one cake a year, right? Right. So you can kind of tell me how to do that. But then this other guy come up and said, listen, I've done 20 cakes too. I said, for real? Yeah. But I've done it in 20 months. I bake a cake a month. So 20 months is less than 2 years of experience, right? So in all actuality, you said, well, wouldn't the guy with 20 years be better than the guy with 20 months? Well, it depends. So people going to promote themselves like I've been doing this for 20 years, right? But for instance, another person can say, hey, I've done this 20 times. Now, based on what it is what determines whether or not it's valuable when you call times and call years. So I give you an example. I've written over 20 plus books, right? Now you said 20 is not a lot based on what it is. If you said you drove your car 20 times, you said, well, that's not driving a lot, right? Because you drove your car 20 days. One day, well, I've done it 20 times, even though it's only been 20 times. Even though I was teaching people how to write books when I only did it once, right? Right? But what happened is I got more experience because see, I found some problems by doing it once. Made some mistakes, right? Found some things that worked, had to make some corrections. Then when I got to 5, I had to do some things that I had found some more mistakes, found some more ways, right? So the more times I did something, the more experience I got from it to make me more valuable when I talk about it. So then I can require people to say, you should pay me for this. Why? Because I have this much experience. If I've done it 20 times, I'm like 20 people talking to you in one person, right? Because I've done it 20 times. If I've done it for 20 years consistently, then I'm like 20. I got 20 years experience and done it 20 times. So this is how you start getting your experience. Now, do I have experience on everything? No. But do you have experience on everything? No. But do you have experience at something? Yes. You could have been a school teacher for the last 10 years, right? So I've been a school teacher for 10 years. That's wonderful, right? But, you know, teach everybody that's been there less than 10 how to do 10, right? You can teach everybody, say, you want to know how to get started in the teaching business? Yeah, how you get started. This is how you get turned into a school teacher. So you can teach everybody that want to turn into a school teacher. You know, you can teach them how to do that. Now, you probably can't teach a person how to do this for 30 years because you haven't done it for 30 years. But you can teach them how to do it for 10, right? So all of us, as you become older as an adult, when I first start speaking to certain groups trying to get paid, I was about 23 years old. So I was a young guy. I think I was about that age. And I couldn't tell you a whole lot. I didn't know that much about life. I'm still trying to figure out how to spell life. You understand what I'm saying? That's where I was at that time. So what I end up doing, I end up talking to people. That's what I end up doing. So since I'm doing that, that's a, start paying me, so to speak, or have me come out. Wasn't getting paid much, right? But then people would call me come out to these groups because that's all I knew about life. Well, within another 3, 4, 5 years, I got good at real estate, right? And so now I'm starting to teach people in real estate how to do real estate because I got good at it, right? So since I got good at it, then I was able to do some things better with it. So what I'm trying to share with you is that you are an expert already at what you do. It's something in your life. You got to sit down, put on paper what you have done. And again, you might not have done it for 100 years, and that's okay. You may have only done it for 3 years. You may have only done it 10 times. Like I've been divorced a couple of times, right? So I wrote a book on how to go through life and get past the divorce. I mean, I only did it twice, 2 times too many probably, but I know how to kind of navigate through it because I've done it a couple of times, right? Well, I'm making light of that. But see, even though I haven't done that a lot, you don't have to get divorced 25 times to teach people how to navigate through a divorce. You understand? Like, man, what's up with that? You have 30 divorces, right? So you may not be able to navigate through that, but it's something that you are good at already that you do. And when you find how you instruct people, because now you have to find out, what did I do to get out of that situation or get better in that situation, right? What did I do to get from here to there? Like when I use this here. I made some mistakes. I started off and told you I spent about 10 years running around, playing around, not getting paid. See, that's a hole in the wall, right? And I found out how the answers to how to avoid those things, like, oh, I got to be popular. I got to be a celebrity. Oh, I got to get business cards and things saying I'm a motivational speaker. See, I did all that stuff, and then it did not really work out well for me. So then I'm able to instruct you on how to apply the answers I have to the problems that you have in regards to how to be a public speaker. And that's how all the problems, and don't want to have all the problems, right? But I had some problems, and then I ended up finding out how to get some answers. And then I got good at trying to instruct people, kill time, and talk to this group because, they just need to fill out some time and say they brought this motivational speaker in, right? Because you ask most people that have speakers come in, you said, what's a motivational speaker? They don't know. They just think somebody's excited, right? Because a lot of times they're not even looking for answers. They don't realize they have a problem, right? So you want to probably put yourself in a situation, not say a whole lot more when the series go on. And if you'd like to get promoted on any of the shows that I do here at IntellectualRadio.com, you can get in touch with me at fullofpurposemedia@gmail.com. That's fullofpurposemedia@gmail.com. So I am promoting Miss Pamela. You're purchasing your dream home. Pamela Denise at Exception Realty is who you need to call. Excuse me. She has 24 years of experience and a team that is 8546 or info@keepitmoving.us. That's info, INFO, at KEEP as Paul, IT as in Tom, MOV as in Victor, ING as in Great, .us. So get in contact with her so she can help you with some real estate things that you have planned that you want to actually accomplish or achieve in the next few months. So that's kind of paid speaker, is that I'm trying to make sure, now you can take this as a philosophy yourself if you like. I'm trying to make sure I got underpaid. I'm trying to give 100 times more to that to the people that's listening to me. So I share a lot of information, share a lot of answers, share a lot of instructions, share a lot of, we paid them too much money. We gave them $99. We probably gave them $2, right? Whatever it may be, right? But I want to make sure that I go to that scenario. Have some people committing suicide. These problems sometimes have people quit on life, right? So yeah, you get paid money, but realize that your purpose is speaking to those people is bigger than the paycheck. And you have to realize that with the people that actually listen to you, that they just act like they get ready to quit, right? They get ready to quit trying to resolve these conflicts at their company. They're going to quit trying to actually be a better parent, or they're going to quit trying to do these different things, right? And so when people pay you, they're paying you for answers. That's what they're paying you for. They need answers from you. They may not say it like that. That's why you have to be a stickler on being an educator. Again, not trying to be in the school or something like that, but being an educator on teaching people how to get out of where they are, not run away from where they are, like hiding, but how to give them some instructions that they can use in the speaking business, right? We need more people out here helping a lot of people. Don't just need 2 or 3. We need a whole lot of people. However, you got to make yourself small so you can make the information that you're saying big, right? You got to solve the problem. That's big, right? I can't solve all the problems. I can't speak to everybody, right? Everybody's not earmarked for me. That great business people aren't born great. Great business people are made great by having great business skills. And I'll see you next time. Notes, and if you don't mind, I'd like you to share this if you can, and also if you're interested in this show, you get a chance if you haven't done this already. If you can go to YouTube, if you're interested in this show, you get a chance if you haven't done this already. If you can go to